Hello, everyone. Sorry, it was a little bit late. I'm here for the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. Coming up, another game of usmanship between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins as they continue their impending match at WrestleMania Backlash. Seth Rollins has something in store for Cody, and I mean he has something in store for Cody. The name opponent of his choice to take on Cody later on that night. If Cody Rhodes accept, we'll find out. Also, too, love is in the air as a wedding ceremony is here on Raw as a double wedding ceremony between 24/7 implications as Reggie weds Dana Brooke and Tamina weds Takira Rosaro. What a wild wedding it was to be. We'll get to that. Plus, two, Bianca Belair was back. Bianca Belair looking to gain revenge on Sonya Deville after what Sonya Deville tried to do to her. Bianca Belair trying to get that measure of revenge back. We'll talk about that as Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report starts right now. Hello, everyone. This is Kendra Diggs here. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, the Raw Ring Report. Well, first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and scan. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. Got a lot to get to, so let's get started with Raw. Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins still upset about losing at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins came out there to his own grand fashion, wearing those ridiculous clothes, but that's Seth Rollins for you. Cody Rhodes came out there being the grandson of the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, and they had a chit chat, brief chit chat, after Seth Rollins wanted Cody in a match. And he told Cody that he'll be the one to choose his opponent. And Cody accept. We'll see who's gonna go forward with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. In the meantime, WWE Women's Tag Team Championship was online. The Boss Sasha Banks and Naomi defend their Women's Tag Team titles against Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. There was the wrong graphic, but you will see the US Championship later on in the show tonight. But what was shocking in developments was this that the women's tag team champions retained their women's tag team gold, but at the end, it turned out to be that Rhea Ripley attacked her long-term partner, um, Liv Morgan, and left Liv Morgan out for dead. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan no more. And there's been reports that Rhea Ripley may join Edge's new faction along with Damian Priest. But we could see Rhea Ripley and Edge and all of them join together. We should no surprise from there because you should know, everyone should saw that coming sooner rather than later. But that could be the possibility for tonight. So Rhea Ripley, we don't know what's going on with her. Hopefully she can work things out with Liv Morgan. If she don't, she probably found her new meal ticket. You know what I mean. Plus two, Veer has come to Raw. Veer Mahan has come and dominated on Raw, winning his match over the Jobber. We haven't seen the Mysterios lately as Veer is targeting, as what he did last week, to Dominic Mysterio. He was scheduled to take on Bray, but that match hasn't been announced right yet. He ought to take on this man, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was in the back talking to the interviewer about his match next week. Next week on Raw, he will have a arm wrestling match against Almas. Who's the strongest between Bobby Lashley and Almas? We'll see on Raw this week. Bobby Lashley, former champion, wants his revenge. Plus two, Kevin Owens has been on a conspiracy as late. He's been trying to figure out how to get try to get how Ezekiel is making up stuff and he's not lying. And he brought out Chad Gable as a lie detector detective or whatever. Chad Gable came out there and tried to see if they can point out Ezekiel. It didn't pan out for him. Ezekiel was telling the truth after all the lie detector stuff. And Kevin Owens went irate and didn't know what to think of Kevin Owens trying to figure out ways to get back at Ezekiel. And he did. Where Ezekiel was in action against Chad Gable. And Chad Gable pulled that cheap shot. But at the end, the Alpha Academy came out there and attacked Ezekiel, left Ezekiel out of lane. Let's see that. Plus two, Edge, his new stable faction, talking about the Brood, talking about stuff that many people know. Edge is talking about how Damian Priest was held back. Mo Closer brought the story about Bad Bunny and what's going on with that, but there could be speculations on that. Damian Priest could feel some type of way about a Bad Bunny took his shine away at WrestleMania last year. So there could be the possibility of that. And they attacked AJ Styles and worked on his arm. AJ getting attacked out from nowhere. We know that at WrestleMania Backlash, Edge will take on AJ Styles in the WrestleMania rematch. And we'll see that match heading towards some way down the road. Two, Austin Theory was match against set the challenge United States champion Finn Balor. Can Austin Theory do it? Well, he did, and he did so proudly, winning the United States Championship. Austin Theory doing big things. Even had like the heels celebrating his win, which I don't get that. I mean, Austin Theory like he won the world championship, and he won, and he won with the endorsement of Mr. McMahon in his corner coming out giving the endorsement. But many people are then getting that selfie that he wanted. Um, we'll see. It's gonna be tough for him, but a lot of people are still buzzing that Finn Balor never got his deserved chance. Asking that Finn Balor leave WWE, and he leaves and go on to greater pastures because WWE doesn't see nothing in him, and could be right about that. But we'll see. But Austin Theory, your new United States champion. Plus two, Tamina getting herself ready for her wedding, reuniting with her team bad groups that made Sasha Banks and Naomi, the women's tag team champions, who was in action earlier. It was a wild, wild wedding. I'll say that. The wedding was wild. Let's see right here. Tamina and them. It was like R-Truth with the nuptials and Olin Court and Nikki Ash, Alberto and what's his name? Angel was in the attendance as grooms and bridesmaids. It was it was like they was sealing with a kiss, and then went went left, and it was pinfall tips by all of them roll ups. But at the end, Dana Brooke won the title back with a crossbody over Tozawa. I don't know what's going on. They taking this 24/7 championship and making it that a joke. Speaking of that, Sonya Deville came out there. She'll be challenging Bianca Belair for the women's championship next week on Raw. And Sonya Deville made a point that she was gonna do what she has to do. With that jacket off, jacket on. When the jacket's off, then she's in competitive mode. But when the jacket's on, she's in other mode. Well, Bianca Belair was attempting to take down Sonya Deville right here. Sonya told her put her down, and Pierce said that she'll have to pay a fine $1, and she paid that $1 fine. If she gets her next week on Raw for the Women's Championship going forward. All right. We Rated RK Bro was in action. Randy Orton celebrating his this week being 20 years in WWE. What a milestone that is. Randy Orton and the Street Profits was in action. But at the end, the Street Profits won with a technicality. And the Street Profits said that with the Street Profits distracted Ray RK Bro with their feud going on with the Usos, who was the SmackDown Tag Team Champion. Ray RK Bro saying that they're gonna the Street Profits saying you need to watch us rather than watching them. So there's a lot going on with that. Tell you that right now. Plus two, finally, the main event, Cody was in action. Cody Rhodes was in action this week, and Cody was in action. He took on, Cody. Yeah, there you go. Cody was in action. Cody took on none other than who Seth Rollins chose was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens versus Cody. We saw some of it in the house show. Kevin Owens returning a favor for his friend Seth Rollins. But at the end, Cody won, and then Cody won by countout. But Seth Rollins made a point that to throw Cody off of the ring and saying what he's going to do. So there's a lot going on with that. We know at WrestleMania Backlash, them two will meet one-on-one. So we'll see that going forward. You see right here, the main card for right now. Ronda, Charlotte, SmackDown Women's title, Cody, Rollins, WrestleMania rematch, RK Bro versus Usos, Unification Tag Team Championship match. Speaking of tag teams, we finally will get it. Bret Hart will manage FTR to take on Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman Jr. versus Brock Anderson. So we'll see that at some little independent show. Plus two, see right here the NBC ad, Cody being labeled the face on Monday Night Raw. Roman being labeled the face of Friday Night SmackDown Fox. So there's a lot of media promotion. See that. Plus two, hot topic, Virgil has been diagnosed with dementia. Our prayers are with Virgil at the time to his dementia. So all right. And tonight on NXT, you'll see Cameron Grant, Natalya in her NXT debut, Saraya in her debut against Tiffany Stratton. That's gonna be a good one. Tiffany Stratton feels like a daddy's girl. And probably the main event, Carmelo Hayes taking on Santos Escobar. So look for that tonight. All right, so that's going to end the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. We're going to leave you with Rhea Ripley attacking Liv Morgan out of nowhere. Hopefully they can get this all together. And plus two, Mr. McMahon christening Austin Theory the new United States champion. But we're going to leave you with this. Hopefully we can find it. Leave you with Cody getting off the perch after being in WWE for nearly 2 weeks off on the throne. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show.